Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Leal, and today the moon has entered in Gemini. Today is October 10th. There could be this will of communicating or receiving information, learning new knowledge, but also in its shadow, could be the information that is shared or the conversations that we sustain that are responding to, talking about other people or situations with this intention of, you know, um, getting rid of the curiosity but not truly extracting something substantial or taking a learning that we could apply to our experience. So it is important to think of the intentions in the face of sharing certain information, and if it's truly having a purpose. I am referring that we could talk of a topic that apparently is superficial but is truly helping us to put ideas and projects in practice. Like you could use this app for that thing, or I'm going to present you that person for such and such. So we could also be talking about situations through we are in which we are going through right now, or other people are transiting, but in a way that it is not actually helping, or it is not having a nourishing function in our experience. There is a cat screaming. So sorry. Also, the moon in the next days, as much as we could be in contact with new ideas or processes of thought that could be creative, could also be like a diverse mental focuses that are not actually contributing, or we are trying to embrace many things at the same time, and in the end we are not doing anything. Tomorrow the moon is going to be in a square with the karma nodes Pisces Virgo, so it is a key to create this discernment, to separate which is Virgo, what is serving from what is not, so we can flow like water Pisces with what is presenting. On the other side, it is a very it has the Gemini energy, this video of today. Derived from the transit that I commented yesterday, Venus in Virgo in opposition with Saturn retrograde in Pisces and Neptune retrograde in Aries. It is a good moment with this moon in Gemini to observe these inner dialogues. Both the ones that are being born from forms of exigency, or this lack of value, what telling ourselves that what we are doing is not enough, as much as feeding ideas that are not truly responding to this creative use that we could give to our imagination that is linked with Neptune. It is more like feeding fantasies of things that are coming to our lives, and they are saving us from having to take certain decisions, or that something magically happens, a change that is coming, and we are not truly taking actions in order for that to happen. Because it is true that there are moments of the path when we decide, we build, we do, and then there is other part that we don't control, which responds to the cosmos reflecting us what we are sustaining or bringing like these new opportunities. But because we are doing things in the day-to-day, we are in this genuine seeking of these opportunities of growth. But with attention with Neptune, many times could be, invoking these visions of reality that are an idealization, and that many times are not also in coherence with the decisions that we are taking right now. Other thing, it is that I am noticing a lot that there are many people that are, connecting with past experiences. I mean, past experiences are re-emerging. This is part of a transit that is active all October. I am talking about the square between Jupiter in Cancer and Chiron retrograde in Aries. Cancer is a sign of memories. It speaks a lot of memories and of the emotional impact of those memories, whether they are positive or negative. And in attention with Chiron, we could talk about experiences that could have been painful, that perhaps invoked this sensation of injustice, or feeling incapable or insufficient for some reason. And notice that I am using the word sensation because the cold Chironian wound responds to that. It is a perception that is very rooted from an insecurity or a pain that is coming from initial experiences that later condition the perception that we have of ourselves and of who we are, Aries, and that probably are going to be repeated or reactivated in different moments of our lives. And well, many times the person could believe that those moments of reactivation are actually a confirmation of the incapacity, but it's not. It is an illusion. I mean, I'm going to put an example so you can understand. A person that has Chiron in the third house, perhaps for situations that the person experimented when he or she was a kid. Regarding communication and learning, the person feels that is not able to express correctly, or other people are not able to understand him or her, or that it is not able to learn as fast as other people. And it is very frequent that, the person is going to experiment that in several circumstances in his or her life. That's why with Chiron it's very, very important not to avoid the fear or the insecurity or the pain that produces facing certain experiences. It is more, walk forth and discovering that truly behind that sensation of incapacity, there is a gift. Because the person believed that other people couldn't understand him or her, it is that the person made this effort in seeking a language of transmission of knowledge that is very healing for other people. And that is being enabling while we do what makes us feel insecure to do, and we deal also with circumstances that could reactivate that pain. The thing is that with the transit between Jupiter in Cancer and Chiron retrograde in Aries, and Jupiter was activated the whole week. It was part, in this full moon in Aries, created tensions. For many people are reemerging these circumstances of the past, and they are revealing that perhaps there is still anger for certain experiences. Behind the anger, there is the pain, and they are reemerging so we can give another sense to them, so we can give another perspective, so we can integrate a new light that could represent growth. For example, if there are people that were giving excessive energy to familiar situations or in relationships, giving too much emotional support or too much in a project, till the point that is causing energetical drains, it could be revealing that behind that there is a seeking of being seen, of having a space in the world, which is what Aries represents. But this tension shows us the importance of seeing ourselves and giving our own place, respecting our energy. Because obviously we could give and receive emotional support or nourishing projects, but when the need of being seen that emerges from the conditioning is interposing, we have to evaluate if what we are truly doing is nourishing for us, it is being felt as nourishing. Because later we could face, the reflections in external scenes that are showing us how we are not taking care of ourselves, how we are being selfish with ourselves. And that is the part that we can take accountability of. But, if there were situations where someone has imbalanced acts that were hurtful, that were emotionally invalidant, we can express our vulnerability in the cases in which we are recognizing that has a purpose, because that is not going to apply for every case. There are other situations in which people are dealing with others, that are not able, are not in capacity, or don't want to see their part of responsibility of, in the emotional impact that their actions have. So expressing ourselves in vulnerability in those cases is truly exposing, again, ourselves in a place where we are not being taken care of or understood. And behind that, we are perpetuating the seeking of validation, of external validation, in a place that it is not something that we are going to find. And, well, Jupiter in Cancer could also include members of the family, but this is about relationships and these connections that are, removing emotional aspects. So the best thing in those cases is to seek that support in safe spaces, or being ourselves the ones that are embracing our own pain. This could be also a tension that is teaching us about doing that in an independent way, validating what we are feeling and transiting, and forgiving to the people, that in their unconsciousness don't know what they are doing, and forgiving our own unconsciousness, the things that we right now see that we didn't see before. Understanding forgiveness as a choice of liberating oneself of that emotional burden so we can, walk forth in a lighter way. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.